We're hoping that we can possibly generate some witnesses that may be out there, as far as witnesses to my birth parents' travels with the Christ Family cult. Maybe when they joined, their travels, and if and when they left.
She was thrust into the national spotlight 1 year ago. A Cushing, Oklahoma woman previously only identified by Texas authorities as baby Holly. Her biological parents found murdered. You just heard her talking about her continued search for answers in her parents' death. She's also, though, hoping to bring closure to families who have missing loved ones right here in Oklahoma and across the nation. Over the past 50 years, the remains of 114 people have gone unaccounted for in Oklahoma. John and Jane Doe's, their families unsure of what happened to them, denied the opportunity of a proper burial or a final resting place to pay their respects.
It's tormenting to the soul when you just don't know.
For Holly Marie, her biological parents were Jane Doe 701 and John Doe 703, found murder outside of Houston in 1981.
Where my parents are buried at the Harris County Cemetery, it's, nothing but row after row after row of unmarked graves. Unidentified babies, children, adults.
Putting names and faces to Holly's parents happened in 2021 through genetic testing. Dean and Tina Klaus had joined a traveling religious group. Their baby, Holly, was dropped off at a church in Arizona before the couple went missing.
From the moment I heard that, what about the baby? I felt like, her mother was dead and she had, family that was alive that I was speaking to, but I felt this responsibility to find her.
She and investigators worked tirelessly to do just that.
I'm excited to announce that baby Holly has been located alive and well 42 years later.
And in June 2022, detectives walked into a Cushing, Oklahoma diner where Holly, who had been adopted as a baby, worked.
I was in complete shock. It was very shocking because I was not aware of that I had been missing.
Her unique story making national headlines.
And that's what brings them to Oklahoma, to a drive-through window at a restaurant. They ask if Holly's there. Holly walks up to the window and says, "That's me." And they say, "We have a story to tell you."
Finding out that my birth parents had been murdered was overwhelming grief. But on the other hand, I had their family who wanted to meet me, had been searching for me to be found and praying for me. And so I embraced that. And that's the very first case we got solved.
She's also embraced a new goal along with genealogist Allison Peacock, helping other families find answers through their organization, Genealogy for Justice.
DNA is the shortage right now. There's lots of DNA testing, consumer testing sites out there for you to do that with. But there's only 2 in the entire world that will allow you to opt in to let the law enforcement and genealogists use your DNA to solve more cold cases like my birth parents.
Those are GEDmatch and Family Tree DNA.
If you think about how many thousands and thousands of people are going to get ancestry DNA tests for Christmas, only a small percentage of those people are serious enough about their DNA study to actually go to employ a site called GEDmatch.
So this holiday season, should you consider the DNA of a family tree, it might just bloom into a world you never imagined.
If we can just help just one family end that suffering from not knowing what happened to their lost loved one, it's so worth it.
The murders of Dean and Tina Klaus remain unsolved. Anyone with information is being asked to contact the Texas Attorney General's office. The number is 512-936-0742. You'll also find it on our website and a link to Genealogy for Justice at KTUL.com.